Hello everyone, and thank you for joining the Art of Yoga project. Today we're going to talk about self-care. This is on our YouTube channel, our Art of Yoga project YouTube channel. So we thank you for joining, and our theme of the class is going to be self-care. We're going to go through a gentle flow, and first we're going to check in with our bodies. So starting off, we're just going to do a few shoulder rolls. So I want you to take a deep inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And then on your next breath, you're going to inhale, bring your shoulders up towards the ears. And exhale, release them back. And down, inhale, bringing them back up towards the ears. Maybe feel that tension. And exhale, soften and relax them down. So keep this up with your breath. Inhale, bringing the shoulders up, and exhale, releasing them down. Few more rounds. Inhale, shoulders come up. Exhale, shoulders release. One more time. Inhale, shoulders up. And exhale, release, soften, and let's leave the shoulders there. So now we're going to warm up the neck. So we're going to start by inhaling, bringing our chin towards our chest. I want you to breathe into the back of your neck. Take a breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And then on your next exhale, bring your right ear to your right shoulder. And then while we're here, we're going to breathe onto the left side of the neck, this side. And feel your shoulder, the left shoulder, soften. So if you feel the shoulder coming up towards the left ear, see if you can release and relax. All the while breathing. And then on your next inhale, you're going to drop your head back, maybe slightly opening the mouth. Just allow your head to fall back. Again, breathing into the throat. Take a breath. And then on your next exhale, bring the left ear to the left shoulder. Again, we're going to breathe into the right side of the neck. And if you feel that right shoulder coming up towards the ear, see if you can soften it, release it down. We're going to hold here. Take a round of breath. And exhale, bring your chin back down to your chest. Hold here for just one more breath. And exhale, bring your head gently up to neutral. Very nice. Now we're just going to do a twist in our body. So we're going to inhale, reach arms up overhead. Nice big reach, fingertips reaching to the sky. We're going to exhale, twist over to the right. So your left palm lands on your right knee, and then your right arm lands behind you. You could stay here in the twist, maybe just facing the right. Or what you can do is with each inhale, you're going to lengthen the spine, so push your head towards the sky. And then you can exhale, maybe twist a little bit deeper. Maybe bring your gaze over your right shoulder. And then we'll inhale back to center. Arms come up to the sky, reaching up. And exhale to the left side. So the right hand on the left knee, left arm behind you. Again, you could stay here, facing to the left. Or we can inhale, lengthen the spine, reaching up through the crown of our head. And exhale, look over the shoulder. Alright, inhaling back through center, reach the arms up towards the sky. One last stretch. And exhale, hands come down. So now we feel warmed up in our spine, and our neck and our shoulders. We're going to talk about our theme a little bit more. So self-care, there's so many different forms of it. So for this practice, I want us to keep in mind how we can bring not only into our physical yoga practice, but just in life in general, physical self-care, emotional self-care, and personal self-care. And how we're going to do that is with physical self-care. I want you to ask yourself, what do I like to do to make myself feel good physically? Whether it's doing a yoga workout, running a mile, doing a face mask, getting your nails done, maybe taking a long bath, relaxing the body, taking a nap, anything like that. Keep that in your mind and how that makes you feel when you do it. And then so for emotional self-care, I like to keep in mind, how do I like to express my emotions? What's the best way that I can allow myself to express how I'm feeling on the inside? So that could be journaling, talking with friends or family, listening to music, singing, anything like that. So just keeping that in mind, and then how that makes you feel inside in your heart. And then personal self-care. That's just what you personally do, your hobbies, something about you specifically and individually that you just love to do. So that could be reading a good book, working on cars, hanging out with friends, anything that just makes you happy. So keep that in mind throughout our yoga practice today. And then let's just do a quick check-in. So how are you feeling today? And what does self-care mean to you? Think about that. So for me, self-care, it really is about finding what makes me feel good all around. So for me, self-care is that me time and taking a break and knowing that it's not selfish, that it's much needed for my health, for my own health. And with that, let's get started with our practice. So again, we're gonna stay seated in our comfortable position here, whatever that is for you guys. What I want us to do is just gently close the eyes, lengthen the spine up, and we're gonna focus on our breath. So just your natural breath, what's that like today? Maybe your inhales are longer than your exhales, or your exhales are longer than your inhales. Just take a moment to notice your natural breath. How are you feeling? And then what I want us to do is find evenness in our breath. We're going to do that with some counting. We're going to do 4 rounds. We're going to start by exhaling, letting everything out of the belly. And then on your next inhale, we're going to count up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to inhale again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that was our rounds. And now I just want you to notice, take a moment to notice how your breath is. Maybe you found evenness naturally without counting. Now we know internally what that feels like with each inhale and exhale. Very nice. Gently open the eyes. Take an inhale, reach your arms up overhead and release those fingertips together. Palms come to facing up and give yourself a nice stretch. Inhaling through the nose, and then we're going to exhale over to the right. Nice side body stretch here. Maybe bring your gaze up towards the sky. Inhaling back through center and exhaling over to the left. Again, maybe bringing your gaze up towards the sky if that feels good for you. Very nice. Inhaling back through center. We're going to exhale, drop our hands to our knees. We're going to do seated cat-cow. So we're going to inhale, push our chest up towards the sky. Tilt your pelvis up and gaze comes up, pushing through your heart center. And exhale, rounding the spine here. Bring your gaze in. Shoulders come in. Pelvis comes in. And inhale back up to our cow pose. So this is seated cow. So pushing up through our heart center. Gaze comes up. Shoulders relaxed and down. And exhale, rounding the spine down. Gaze comes in. This is our seated cat pose. One more time. Inhale, pushing up. Seated cow. And exhale, round the spine. Seated cat. And inhale back to neutral. Very nice. So now we're going to meet in a tabletop position. So what that means is we're going to bring our wrists below our shoulders, our knees below our hips. You have an option here to tuck the toes or keep them untucked. Spread your fingertips wide here. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start by doing some hip circles, bringing our right knee. We're gonna push that right knee up and out. Our foot is flexed, so our toes are pointed down. So if you notice your toes are pointed out, see if you can bring them down, flexing that foot, very nice. And with the exhale, you're gonna bring your knee in towards your chest. And you're gonna inhale, bring the knee up and out like a fire hydrant. And then pushing back and bringing that knee back in. So just some hip circles here. So drawing an imaginary circle with your knee. So just do a few more rounds of that. Notice how your hips are feeling today. Maybe some of us have tight hips. So we're really feeling it, putting in that effort. And then we're gonna reverse the circle in the opposite direction. So now pushing the knee up and out and around. Bring the knee back into center. And we are breathing all at the same time. Inhale, bringing the knee up and out. Exhale, bringing it in towards the chest. One more circle. And we're gonna exhale, gently drop that knee down. Very nice. And then let's just do some hips from side to side to kind of release any of that tension. So just moving the hips from side to side. Okay, and of course we still have the other side to do. So you're not going to be able to see my other side, but just know that we're on the left side now. So bringing your left leg up and out, pushing that foot out behind you. Foot is flexed. Exhale, bring the knee in towards the chest. Inhale, bring it up and draw that circle. Bring it up and back. Exhale, back in towards the chest. Again, drawing a circle with your knee. You could go at your own pace. Again, notice how this side feels. Maybe this side feels better than the other, or this side feels worse than the other, just knowing our bodies. So knowing our physical self-care. So maybe this side is not as good as the other. So what can I do to make it feel better? One more circle. Exhale, bring the knee in towards the chest. And reverse directions. Bring the knee up and out. And exhale, bring it in towards the chest. So drawing that circle in opposite direction. Just remembering how that feels when we take care of ourselves physically. One last circle. And exhale, knee to chest, and gently drop it down. And again, we're gonna rock our hips from side to side. Very nice. We're gonna come back to center, and we're gonna bring our knees as wide as the mat, and our toes are gonna connect here. We're gonna exhale, bring our hips back towards our heels, and then we're gonna come into child's pose. So in child's pose, you drop your head, allowing your forehead to connect with the mat. And I'm not going to do it so you guys can still hear me, but I want you to just fully relax while you're there. So child's pose looks like this. And how it should feel is completely letting go, taking that rest, focusing on the breath. All right, one last breath here. Deep inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Very nice. We're going to push our way up to tabletop position again. So wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips, tucking those toes. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to push our way back. Our hips are going to come onto our heels. Our toes are tucked, and we're going to actually stretch out our feet. So now we're sitting on top of our heels. Toes are tucked in. So for some of us, if we walk on our feet a lot, we're going to feel that stretch in our feet. So if it feels too much for you, don't put a little less weight on top of the heels. If you don't feel much, see if you can straighten, lengthen the spine here. And just hold for a little bit longer. Again, if this is just unbearable and it does not feel good for you, untuck the toes and just come to seated on the heels. Knowing your body, focusing on our physical self-care, which includes knowing what feels good for you and what doesn't. Very nice. So then what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring our hands in front of us and we're gonna start to straighten the knees, bring the hips up, and we're gonna come into a forward fold here. So we're gonna start off by really bending the knees a lot in our forward fold. So finding the way where our hands can connect with the ground. So some of us are gonna be able to straighten our knees a lot, and some of us are gonna have to bend our knees a lot. The goal right now is to not overstretch our hamstrings, just to kind of feel a nice, light stretch. Taking care of our bodies and feeling good. We're gonna hang out here for just another breath. Very nice. Then we're gonna do a twist. We're gonna keep our left fingertips on the mat. We're gonna bring our right arm up towards the sky. Your right knee is gonna bend. Your left knee might straighten. And I'm gonna exhale, drop that left arm down. I'm sorry, right arm down. And then the left arm comes up. So now we're on the left side. Twisting to the left, exhale, gently drop back down to the ground. Bending those knees deeply, we're gonna bring our hands onto our thighs. And we're gonna inhale, straighten the knees, come all the way up to standing. Very nice. So we're here, we're gonna walk our way up to the top of the mat. And we're gonna find our mountain pose. So I'm gonna face the camera. And so our mountain pose is just a grounding feeling of just standing tall, like a mountain. So we're gonna ground our feet into the mat. So pushing your toes and your heels and the side of your feet. Noticing the ground below you. And a lot of us tend to hyperextend our knees. What that looks like is pushing your knees too far back. If you notice that, see if you can lighten the knees. Palms are facing forward, shoulders are relaxed. Gaze is forward. Very nice. We're gonna take an inhale, reach arms up towards the sky. Interlace those fingertips, palms face up. And exhale over to the right, nice side body stretch here. We're gonna hang out for just a moment, maybe bring your gaze up towards the sky. And inhale back to center. Exhale to the other side, so left side. We're gonna hang out here for a minute, bringing your gaze up towards the sky. Inhaling back to center, very nice. Now we're gonna bring our arms to a T and we're gonna twist. So our arms are to a T, palms facing forward. Inhale, reaching them out, opening up the chest. And exhaling over to the right, twisting your body over to the right. See if you can keep your hips facing forward. If you notice your hips are following your torso, see if you can keep them forward. All right, inhaling back to center. And then onto the other side, we're on the left side. Twisting over to the left. Keep those hips forward. And inhale back to center, gently dropping the arms towards your hips. Very nice. So again, we're at the top of our mat now. We're gonna bring our hands to our hips. We're gonna take our right leg, so identify your right leg. You're gonna step your foot back. You're gonna notice your back toes are pointed to the top right corner of your mat. So our front toes are pointed forward, our hands are on our hips, and we're gonna bend that front knee. We're gonna make sure the knee is directly aligned on top of the ankle. If you notice it going past the ankle like this, see if you can push it back. Very nice. Hips are facing forward. Inhale, reach the arms up. We're here in warrior one. This is warrior one. And while we're in warrior one, I want us to think of our emotional self-care. Because although this is physically appealing pose, it's very strong physically, that takes a lot of emotion, grounding and balance in our emotions in order to hold such a strong pose. So think of that thing that you do to express your emotions. Maybe you sing, maybe you talk to your friends, you write in the journal. Feeling that expression. Allowing the emotions to come out, feeling how you feel. All right, again, we're gonna exhale, drop the arms down to the hips. Very nice. And on an inhale, we're gonna lengthen the spine, bring our hands to hips, lengthen the spine. We're gonna exhale, we're gonna lean our torso forward. And we're gonna hold here for a moment, hanging out. And we're gonna inhale back up. And we're gonna do 2 more rounds of that. Exhale, leaning forward. And inhale, slowly coming back up. One more time, exhale, leaning forward. And inhale, slowly coming back up. Holding here. Let's bring our back leg forward, coming back into our standing pose at the top of the mat. We're gonna do all that on the other side. So now we're going to the left side. Take your left foot back, left toes pointed to the top left corner, front toes pointed forward, bend that knee, hips pointed forward. Inhale, reach the arms up to warrior 2. I'm sorry, warrior 1. I keep calling it warrior 2. So we're here in warrior 1. And again, we're feeling our feelings, our emotions. How do we let that out? We're gonna take a breath here. Inhaling, feeling how you're feeling right now inside. Open the mouth, exhale, release, let it out. Very nice. Exhale, bring the arms down to the side, hands to the hips. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, gently folding forward. Holding here for a moment and then inhaling back up. Strong legs, strong mind. And exhale, back down. Holding here for a moment. Inhaling back up. One more time. Exhale, folding forward. Let's hold here for just a little bit longer. See if you can test yourself today. And inhaling back up. Holding here, one last breath. And exhale, step your back foot forward, back into our standing pose. So as we're facing forward, we're gonna come into a tree pose. So I'm gonna face you guys so you can see me. Again, we're grounding the feet. Toes, heels, side of the feet pushing in. Arms can go ahead and drop to the side or they can stay on your hips. Shoulders relaxed. We're gonna lean over to the left side. And we're gonna bring our right knee in towards our chest. And we're gonna open it up like a gate. So find your balance here. And then you're gonna connect your foot with the left leg. Your toes could be touching the ground, coming to the ankle. Your foot can come up to the calf. Or you can come all the way up to your inner thigh. Just make sure you avoid your knee. So we're here in our tree pose. You can keep your hands on your hips or you can bring your arms to your heart center. Again, focusing on one point in front of you, something that's not moving. Keeping that balance, and if you fall out, that's okay, we just keep trying. While we're here in our tree pose, we're holding, keeping that balance, finding that focus. Try and think of a personal self-care routine, something you love, something you do for yourself, because this pose is so personal. There's so many different ways to do it. You can bring your toes down to the ankles, the inner thigh, keeping the hands on the hips, bringing the hands to prayer, or bringing your arms up towards the sky. So because this pose is so personal, it makes me think of how I like to take care of myself. All right, we're gonna bring that knee in, and we're gently gonna drop it down. Hands come down and then shake the knees out. All right, let's do the other side. Hands to the hips, grounding through the feet. Leaning our weight into the right side now. Left knee is coming in towards the chest, opening up like a gate. Again, find your personal tree pose that makes you feel the best. This is your time, this is your pose. What do you like to do? What makes you feel good right now? So your foot could be to the ankle, can come to the calf, maybe bring it up to your thigh. Maybe you feel like just going straight into a full tree pose, bringing your arms up towards the sky. Maybe you want to test yourself, and that's what feels really good for your personal self-care. Holding here, finding your focus. Breathing. If you shake, that's okay. We are trees, so the wind is blowing. All right, exhale, bring that knee in and gently drop it down. Hands come down, shake it out. Very nice. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna bend the knees. You're back at the top of your mat, bend your knees, and slowly just come down to the mat. We're gonna start to cool down here. So you can cross your legs or come into diamond butterfly pose. So bringing the soles of your feet together, and then you'll notice the shape of a diamond here. You can see it better from facing forward. Bring your hands onto your hip or your knees. We're just gonna do some hip circles here. Very gentle, go at your own pace. So we inhale forward, exhale over to the right, and inhale back. And just make that circle. It can be a large circle, maybe a small circle. You can go fast or you can go really slow. Whatever that personal self-care, self-expression. And then we're gonna go the other side. So finding our circle, going in the opposite direction. Remembering to breathe. All right, one last circle. And then coming up, neutral spine, shoulders relaxed. Very nice. So now we're gonna bring our feet out in front of us. So extending the legs out, like this. And we're gonna come into one forward fold here. So we inhale, reach the arms up overhead. So with the inhale, lengthen the spine. And with the exhale, we fold forward. So some of us are gonna need to bend our knees. Because we're folding here, we're gonna hold for just a few breaths. So you wanna be comfortable. You don't wanna push yourself too much. So for me, this is what feels good. I'm gonna allow myself to fold in, rounding the spine, and allow my forehead to drop. And we're just gonna breathe. Focus on your natural breath. Notice your inhales and your exhales. A few rounds of that. So taking a nice deep inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. One more time. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And then on your next inhale, slowly come all the way up. Very nice. So now we're getting ready to close our practice, coming into Shavasana. I know this is most people's favorite pose. So maybe sliding a little bit forward and slowly coming all the way onto your back. Allowing yourself to lay down. And while you're laying down, I'm gonna come up. And while you're there, I want you to allow your feet to fold open like a book. Just completely let go of anything you're holding on to, any of those muscles, any tension. And then I want you to notice your knees. Allow them to let go, just melt into the mat below you. You're starting to feel relaxed, so maybe you could close your eyes, or just a gentle gaze. Coming up to your belly, you feel the gentle rise of an inhale and the slow release of an exhale. Nothing is forced, just noticing the movement. And then feeling those shoulders relax, letting them rest. Melting away all the tension, the stress that we hold in our shoulders throughout the day. This is our time to just let it go. And then bringing our way to our jaw. Notice if you're holding on to something. So closing your jaw tight. Feeling those muscles. See if you can let that go. We want to release that. And how we do that is allowing a slight separation between our teeth. So our teeth aren't completely together. And then you'll notice your jaw, the muscles, letting go of any hold and tension. And you'll just automatically notice that it releases anything in your head. Any kind of headaches, maybe you're feeling tension in your forehead or your temples. And then we're going to bring our way to the middle of our eyebrows. Another place we hold so much expression. We tend to furrow the eyebrows. So notice if your eyebrows are furrowed, brought together. See if we can release that expression in the face. So allow the eyebrows to separate fully and relax. Letting go of those muscles. And again, just noticing your breath. Gentle rise and the fall of each inhale and exhale. You're slowly wake the body up, starting with a gentle wiggle of your toes, noticing how they feel. Coming to your fingertips, wiggling them around, coming to our head, nodding your head yes, shaking it no. We're going to inhale, reach the arms up overhead, and bring our knees in towards our chest. Wrapping our arms around the knees. We're going to gently roll over to the right and cradle our head with our right arm. And slowly holding here, and then with an inhale, pushing our way up to a comfortable seated position. Whatever that is for you, crossing your legs or sitting on your knees and your heels, whatever feels good to you. All right. Gently opening the eyes. Inhale, reaching the arms up overhead. Connect the palms together. And exhale, slowly bring them to your heart center here. Give yourself a slight bow of the head. Remember your physical, emotional, and personal self-care. And just always know that you can put yourself first. It is not a selfish act. It is a part of loving oneself. Ending the class with the light within me sees and honors the light within you. Namaste. So we're going to close out our class with a quick checkout. I just want you to think of how you felt when you were remembering all the different self-care ideas in your head and how that made you feel on the inside. And maybe you can write it down on a piece of paper, your top 5 favorite things to do for yourself in self-care, and doing one thing for yourself after this class ends, whether it be hanging out with your friends, laughing, making a joke, singing, taking a nap if that's what your body needs. Just listening to what you need, taking care of yourself is the most important thing. And we thank you so much for showing up and joining us with the Our Yoga Project YouTube channel. And we hope to see you again. Have a great day.